Assessment content. Evaluation of academic progress. Assessing the learning process, progress, and academic outcomes of students in alignment with the specified requirements and the specific expressions of competence for each subject and educational activity as outlined in the elementary education curriculum. Assessment of character, quality, and competencies development. Assessing the formation and development of students' qualities and abilities through key qualities such as patriotism, compassion, diligence, honesty, and responsibility, as well as core competencies including common competencies, autonomy and self-learning, communication and collaboration, problem-solving, and creativity, specific competencies, language, mathematics, science, technology, informatics, aesthetics, and physical education. Several assessment methods commonly used in evaluating students include: observation method. Teachers observe and listen to students during classroom instruction, utilizing observation sheets, checklists, or journals to document student expressions as evidence for assessing learning progress and development. Assessment through academic records, student products, and activities. Teachers provide comments and assessments on student products and activity outcomes, evaluating students based on relevant assessment criteria. Questioning method. Teachers engage in dialogues with students through questioning to gather information for timely feedback and support. Written examination method. Teachers use written exams comprising questions and exercises designed to assess the achievement levels of educational content. The exams may take the form of multiple choice, essay questions, or a combination of both to evaluate educational content as required. Assessment form. Formative assessment takes place during the teaching process according to the specified learning objectives. It specifically reflects the components of competence in each subject, educational activity, and certain manifestations of the qualities and capabilities of students. Formative assessment provides feedback to teachers and students, enabling timely adjustments to the teaching process, supporting and promoting the progress of students towards the objectives of elementary education. Formative assessment of subject content and educational activities. A. Teachers employ flexible and appropriate assessment methods, primarily using verbal communication to indicate to students what is correct, incorrect, and how to rectify. Written comments are provided in notebooks or on students' academic products when necessary, with specific measures for timely assistance. B. Students engage in self-reflection and participate in peer assessment during the completion of learning tasks to improve their performance. C. Parents exchange feedback with teachers on student assessments using suitable methods and coordinate with teachers to motivate and support students in their learning and development. Formative assessment of character and competency formation. A. Teachers use flexible and appropriate assessment methods, relying on expressions of students' awareness, behavior, and attitudes. These are compared against the specified requirements for key qualities and core competencies according to the elementary education curriculum, with feedback and timely support measures. B. Students are encouraged to self-reflect and participate in peer assessments regarding the expressions of key qualities and core competencies to enhance personal development. C. Parents collaborate with teachers to motivate and support students in cultivating and developing each key quality and core competency. Summative assessment evaluates the educational results of students after a period of learning and training. Its purpose is to determine the level of completion of the learning and training tasks of students according to the specified requirements. It also specifically reflects the components of competence in each subject and the educational activities stipulated in the elementary education curriculum, as well as the formation and development of the qualities and capabilities of students. Summative assessment of subject content and educational activities. A. During midterm of semester I, end of semester I, midterm of semester 2, and end of the academic year, subject teachers evaluate students based on formative assessment and specific expressions of each competency in subjects and educational activities. The assessment categories are as follows: excellent. Excellently fulfills learning requirements with consistent specific expressions of competency in the subject or educational activity. Satisfactory. Successfully fulfills learning requirements with specific expressions of competency in the subject or educational activity. Not satisfactory. Has not fulfilled some learning requirements or lacks specific expressions of competency in the subject or educational activity. B. At the end of semester I in the academic year, for compulsory subjects: Vietnamese, Mathematics, Foreign Language 1, History and Geography, Science, and Information Technology. There are summative assessments. For Grade 4 and Grade 5, additional summative assessments in Vietnamese and Mathematics are conducted midterm in Semester I and midterm in Semester 2. C. The summative assessments are appropriate for the learning requirements and specific expressions of competencies in subjects, comprising questions and exercises designed at the following levels. Level 1, recognizes, recalls, or describes learned content and applies it directly to solve familiar situations or problems in learning. Level 2, connects and arranges learned content to solve problems with similar content. Level 3, applies learned content to solve new problems or provides reasonable feedback in learning and life situations. D. Teachers correct and provide comments on the tests, assigning scores on a scale of 10 without decimal points, returning them to students. The scores from summative assessments are not used to compare one student to another. If the results of the end of semester I and end of year tests deviate significantly from formative assessment, teachers may suggest alternative tests to accurately assess the student's academic performance. Summative assessment of character and competency formation. During midterm of semester I, end of semester I, midterm of semester 2, and end of the academic year, homeroom teachers, in coordination with subject teachers, evaluate the development of each student's key qualities and core competencies based on formative assessment. The assessment categories are as follows: A. Excellent. Excellently meets educational requirements with clear and consistent expressions. B. Satisfactory. Meets educational requirements but with less consistent expressions. C. needs improvement, has not fully met educational requirements, with unclear expressions. Evaluation of students in schools and classes for people with disabilities, students with disabilities in inclusive education. Students with disabilities study using inclusive education methods based on the type and degree of disability. They are evaluated similarly to non-disabled students, with adjusted requirements tailored to the specific disability type and degree, or according to the requirements of the individual education plan. The term inclusive education refers to an approach that addresses the diverse needs of all students, including those with disabilities, ensuring that they receive quality education in an inclusive environment. Students with disabilities in specialized education. Students with disabilities in specialized education are assessed according to the regulations for specialized education or as specified in the individual education plan. Evaluation for students in classes for people with disabilities. For students studying in classes designated for people with disabilities. Teachers assess students based on regular observations and formative assessment during classes for people with disabilities.